Grand Rising Soul Fam. So today I am coming on and I am sharing a message from the Tao Oracle by Ma Deva Padma. So today I have been exploring Gene Key 47. This is the shadow of oppression, the gift of transmutation, and the city or the divine expression of transfiguration. So if you've got Gene Key 47 in your Gene Key hologenetic profile, this one might feel especially resonant to you. It may also feel especially resonant with just the temperature of what's happening outside around us. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. This is the imagery here. Couple keywords: restriction, exhaustion, depression, depleted resources, feeling cut off, punishment, and confinement. So here we go. Just as nature unfolds in cycles of contraction and expansion, so does the journey of being human. Times of oppression can feel like being confined in a dark cell without windows or even a door. And at times like these, it's particularly important to hold fast to the light within. It's with the help of that light you can find the strength to pass through oppressive circumstances without unnecessary and ineffective struggle. And it is with the help of that light you can also prevent yourself from falling into despair and hopelessness. Difficult circumstances are life's way of provoking a leap from one level of consciousness to another. Although hard times can make you feel like life is out to get you, it's not the case. On the contrary, existence is never inimical, but it does provide us with restrictions that can, if we receive them and work with them, help to strengthen the inner qualities that we need in order to keep growing and expanding. In order to thrive and reach maturity, we must find the strength and inner determination to keep growing until we can rise above the dark and difficult. In the process, we learn to be flexible as needed and to take advantage of opportunities for expansion when they arise. Whatever the oppressive circumstances that might be facing you now, remember that hidden within this darkness, there is light. The Taoist pictogram, known as the yin-yang symbol, represents this intimate interplay of light and darkness, expansion and contraction, activity and rest, all essential to life and growth. Contemplating this symbol reveals the teaching that the essential dynamic of life is change, and that all apparent opposites are irrevocably linked. Words are hard. Each is supporting the other, and each is evolving into the other. The dark yin quality and the light yin quality coexist in perfect balance, each reaching the fullness of its potential. In the center of the dark ground lies a small seed of light, and within the light space is a seed of darkness. Thus, entrapped in one another and wrapped in one another, the black receptive female and the white active male spiral outward from the center to form the circle that represents the perfection of the whole. It's a dynamic and harmonious interplay of opposites, affecting and constantly renewing all. Any situation you face in relationship or in work, in the inner world of feelings or the outer world of mundane affairs, can be approached from a life affirmative or a life negative standpoint. And it is the life affirmative approach that embraces the whole, rather than drawing lines that divide good from evil, darkness from light. The yin-yang symbol is a reminder that every darkness has its dawn, and every dawn contains the seed of darkness. Truly understanding this, not just intellectually, but at the very core of one's own being, is what we call wisdom. So here are the changes. This is the card. Again, if you've got this in your Gene Key profile, what is the line number after the dot? It might be 1 through 6. So here we go. Bottom line, line 1. When the first attempt to overcome adversity fails, you can respond in 2 ways. One is to figure out a different approach, and the other is to get discouraged and give up. Giving up might seem easier, but it can lead to a pattern of defeatism that's difficult to break out of. There are times to give in to whatever life brings, but times of oppressions don't fit that category. Take a deep breath or a little nap if you think it'll help, and as soon as you can pull yourself together, go for the light. Line 2. Take a deeper look at the environment around you and within you to see if you've tunneled yourself into a routine that's become a little too claustrophobic. Even driving in cruise control for hundreds of miles in the fast lane can get oppressive after a while. You must have some destination in mind, yes? It's a good time to pull over and just check them out. Line 3. The feeling of entering a second childhood can be full of wonder and innocence, but a second adolescence can drag a person into all kinds of theatrics and temper tantrums. If you find yourself complaining and feeling sorry for yourself more than challenged and full of life, perhaps you've entered the wrong time capsule by mistake. It might be prudent to reset your watch so that you can keep that appointment with adulthood. Line 4. Taking some time for quiet contemplation always helps to regain a broader perspective and makes it easier to be more discerning when making choices. The exercise of strength in times of oppression is not always obvious or impressive, but whatever form it takes, that strength is always nourished by renewing your acquaintance with the silent center that endures through all ups and downs. Line 5. Sometimes circumstances are such that the best you can hope for is to stay centered and reasonably sane until something somewhere lets you out of its grip. Now might be one of those times. Be watchful of the tendency to feel martyred, exhausted, nagged to death, or otherwise beyond coping. Pay special attention to that little seed of light in the darkness until the gestalt begins to shift. Top line, line 6. The target now is to regain your inner balance, and the key is to drop any tendency to carry the past into the future. It's pointless to resolve henceforth to conquer life's challenges so that they never happen again. Quiet contemplation, meditation, and non-judgmental consideration for all the factors that have been in play will increase your understanding. So technically right now we're in Gene Key 21, which is the shadow of control, the gift of authority, and the divine expression of valor. But when we begin to study these gene keys in the Tao at length, we can see how nuanced they all are, how similar. So right now, this shadow of feeling controlled can also be the shadow of feeling oppressed. So how can we rise into our power, take accountability, responsibility for our own emotions, energy in motion, and then trust others to do the same? This is how we change. This is how we are completely rebirthed from within. Sending you so much love.